side 2.
Wow.
We have Mr. Crowley, Tomorrow, and Wishing Well. Hops.
I just want to make sure you can hear me okay. My battery's going low. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Hops.
Okay, so Mr. Crowley, simply because it has 2 of the greatest solos of all time. I love the outro solo on this. I've never heard Randy Rhoads be better. And this song is just, I used to listen to this song like 24/7. I can't say enough good things about it. And I don't know why I love it so much. It just reminds me of Randy Rhoads, more so than Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
Nice.
Jobber?
I'm actually I should be picking Mr. Crowley, but actually Wishing Well I find it an interesting outlier. And I didn't expect it. When I was listening to it, I'm like, wow, I've heard it before, but it's been a while. And it almost, like, if the solo is so melodic, it almost weirdly has some elements of Never Say Die in there, like their previous outing. So yeah, and I've just listened to that, I've listened to that album, Blizzard of Oz, so many times that I can't listen to that song anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I hadn't listened to Wishing Well in a long time, and I found the same thing. There's a lot of really interesting melodic arrangements in it. It's kind of classically more Dio-esque in terms of maybe Rainbow or Elf or something, more along those Dio lines and less Sabbathy. But like you said, Never Say Die being kind of the most proggy album they finished with. I really like that song a lot. Mr. Crowley, obviously, I have certain religious issues with that stuff, but just Ozzy's vocals. Never mind the black magic. Ozzy's vocals are just mystical.
Yeah,
too slow for me. I need some upbeats. All right.
Oh man, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'm going Mr. Crowley as well. That's a great song from that album. Although I will say Tomorrow is my favorite song on Unmasked. It just can't get to where Ozzy is. But it's a great song.
It's a good song. It's just,
I like it. I mean, it's very poppy, but that's okay. That's the direction in 1980 for Kiss.
We know we're hitting out of the park at Torpedo Girls, so you can say it.
Oh, I think that we're gonna run out of tape when it comes to Torpedo Girl.
I love Tomorrow. It's actually my 3rd favorite track off of Unmasked.
Third favorite?
Yeah.
Really?
No, it's my 3rd favorite. It's my 3rd favorite track, but I still got to go Mr. Crowley. It's just again
awesome.
when Ozzy's voice,
wow.
like you said, it's like
especially right at the beginning when it first kicks in, right?
All right, so another win for the Oz. So we've got Die Young, Two Sides of the Coin, and No Bone Movies.
All right.
Wow. Quite the reaction.
Yeah.
Whose wife's bringing the evidence?
No Bone Movies. No Bone Movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. It evokes a feeling in me. The other 2 songs, I don't listen. I had never listened enough. You got to realize that this Ozzy album, I listened to so much. I discovered it late, but it really stuck with me. And it was when like Randy Rhoads was all over Guitar Magazine and he was the bomb. And it was like, for me, that's the best Ozzy. That's the best version of Ozzy with Randy for me personally. And so I can't go against it.
Jobber?
No Bone Movies. I mean, lyrics like pulsating glare. I mean, just amazing. That's probably Bob Daisley and not Ozzy, but it's such a gritty song. It almost doesn't quite sound like Randy Rhoads in that sense. It's much more.
It sounds more like a Frozen Assets song.
Is it more Brad Gillis?
Maybe we'll have to add that to the roster. I don't know. But yeah, actually, No Bone Movies is it's one of my top 3 on that album.
Really?
Yeah, I love that song.
I think there'll be a difficulty translating No Bone Movies and what it actually means to the Japanese crowd in Japan. Japanese.
Well, you can't go word for word on that one, but
I would think not, because there could be some literalness but anyways, all right. I'm going 2 sides of the coin. Ace nailed it. Just
I
nailed it.
can't believe you like Ace's songs on this album.
No,
man.
it's like I always think Ace's New York Groove and Cold Gin and all this stuff, and then Ace starts pulling all this punk rock and this crazy stuff out of nowhere. I'm like, I thought Ace was wasted and almost died at this point. I'm like, he holds up the whole fucking album. And I'm like, Two Sides of the Coin, not the greatest Ace song of all time, but pretty
No,
damn solid.
really not.
Pretty damn solid. I like No Boat Movies a lot. I do. I really like that song. But like Two Sides of the Coin, if I'm saying what's Ozzy's high plateau and what's Ace's high plateau, Two Sides of the Coin is higher up in Ace's plateau than it is on Ozzy's plateau.
See, but that's an interesting way to look at
That's
it,
a good
JT.
point.
For me,
That
which
is
is the better song? Like, I don't care who's plateauing here.
Right. But I look at it like that.
I know you do. You're very analytical. No, that's
Okay.
try not to
interesting.
be, but yeah.
I'm sorry. And like I said, I love Ace, but if Ace wasn't on this album at all, this would be a classic Kiss album.
Oh, geez.
Wrong.
No,
Ace makes the album.
he's that bad. Two Sides of the Coin, although I guess later I'm going to have to talk about Torpedo Girl. And that's not
yeah, you are.
Child wrote that one. Like a 7-year-old Ace Frehley, we don't need that on Unmasked. Anyway, I'm going Ozzy 100%.
Okay.
Not even close.
Okay. So Ozzy wins this one, but I don't know what all four of you are on crack. Die Young destroys those two songs.
Die Young's a great song.
Like,
It's a
oh
great
my
song.
God, you guys. Like,
It is a great
come
song.
on. Die Young is like,
Two sides of the coin.
both songs are like child songs compared to Die Young.
Actually, you know what? You're right. And I was
Like-
I was totally on an Unmasked bent this week, but I will take my vote back and I will. Die Young is a way
you
better song.
made him sway.
It won't
No,
be
because
on-
I listen to Heaven and Hell all the time, and I didn't listen to Unmasked ever.
But
so I listen
Die
to Unmasked
Young,
all the time.
Die Young is crazy. Even the video with all the
No,
fog
it's
and
awesome.
Dio comes
Die
on.
Young, no, Die Young is top 3 on that album for sure.
Oh, it's my second
Sorry.
favorite
I
off
was
that
on
album.
I was on an Ace binge. I'm taking.
Otto, don't you miss going first, Otto?
Doesn't Die Young almost has a Gary Moore kind of feel to it, don't you think?
Oh,
No,
love Gary Moore.
it doesn't. It's Dio, baby, all the way.
Well,
Geezer's a better lyricist.
We're gonna get
It's-
into this
it's
more
raining.
with the
But I mean,
with the Def
even
Leppard.
Geezer's bass on that, man. Like, dude,
No,
that
Geezer's
is
bass
so
is fucking
sick.
Oh, Geezer is outstanding on that album.
Geezer's
Like, Never
always
Say
a-
Die, you can barely hear him.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. And Never Say
Okay.
It's a good album, but yeah, no, the way they punched up the lower frequencies and took all the fucking mids out of Tony's guitar and then just jammed up Geezer right up through the top. That's what, and like, honestly, if there was
Well, that's like
any
early
other
sound.
album against Heaven and Hell, I would just be taking every song off Heaven and Hell. But
It's mixed like Master of Reality.
I'd say it's more mixed like Volume 4 than Master.
Okay.
Master of Reality is too muddy. To me, Master of Reality just flows down in this mud flow of like lost frequencies. Whereas like Volume 4, like especially on like Supernaut, it comes up, right?
Live.
Oh, hey,
Hey,
Hey, Dill.
This is DL.
Dylan.
He's the one that did the logo for the Marty's Gang. Yeah,
Ah,
shout out.
sweet.
That's
Cheers.
right.
thanks, Phil.
There you go, buddy. Thanks, man.
See you later.
That's awesome.
You got me at mud flow of lost frequencies. I'm writing that down.
It's so Hops. It's a low pass filter, a high pass filter. So when they developed them in the early 70s, they felt that these low pass filters would allow everything to turn into mud and you could still hear it properly. So BTO basically, like the guy who developed all the BTO amps here, Garnett,
Right.
Or Gargillies, they're called Garnett amps. He basically said you're doing the exact
Clark
same thing. You want to lift up the mids and put horns and amps because nobody can hear back. So when they started doing all these low pass filters, when they did Master of Reality, it's just a fucking mud show.
well, but I mean, it's
Volume
got.
4 is not that
it's-
much better.
I would say Tony never sounded more powerful than on that album. I mean, it's just pure lava. I mean,
I like that. Pure
I
lava.
honestly, in
You
my
can
mind,
pure
the
lava.
best guitar,
You
the
went
best
from
guitar
Frozen
tones.
Acid
I stole that from Henry Rollins, actually. So.
Are we talking more high and
best
dry than
guitar
Mutt
tone
Lang?
I've ever heard Tony Iommi had is to me is Heaven and Hell. That's my opinion.
He sounds great on that album.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
Yeah, where are
Okay,
we?
so what's
Hey, why didn't you
what's
pick
next?
that song, JT?
We're moving on. We
Exactly. Because I'm
we
in
have
love
Walk
with
Away.
Unmasked because it's new.
Walk Away, She's So European, and Revelation, Mother Earth.
She's So European. I love that song. And I know you guys know how much I'm a Kiss fan.
Yes.
I always like She's So European. Gonna go there.
I'm glad.
Makes love on a brass bed because her parents are still awake.
Wow.
See, you know all the words. I don't know the word.
Because it's the greatest album of all time. Anyways,
Still
Jobber.
live the song.
Wow.
Actually,
One of a
She's So
kind, really.
European edges out Sabbath. I thought the chorus on the Sabbath tune was rather uninspiring, but She's So European. I mean, it's
Hold on, Jobber.
say. I mean, it's
Jobber.
No, keep
it's all
going.
right.
Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going. It's fine. Keep going because Hobbs will just come back in. It's his own fault.
There he goes.
Being outside.
Hey, you're horizontal
You're
again.
horizontal again. Okay,
Although I have
Jobber.
to say, I'm going with She's So European, but let's face it, that's a phrase that probably anybody from Europe would never say.
No, but you know what it means, right?
Yeah.
Like we're not allowed to talk about it anymore on social media, but She's So European has, we've seen these videos that show.
Wait, you're still going to talk about it?
I would say I'm gonna do a backstory where Gene went to Italy for the first time and really liked what he experienced. I'm going with She's So European.
Okay. Wow. That's going to be like, yeah, okay, go ahead.
I don't mind that song. It's a decent song for Unmasked, but I'm going Ozzy. I really like Randy Rhoads' work on Revelation.
Yeah, no, it's a cool track, but I'm gonna go with She's So European as well. Okay.
Revelation is cool, but like I think we talked about on the Ozzy episode, as Pete just or Jobber just mentioned, is that it's a throwback. It's a throwback to some more proggy Sabbath, and like it feels a little bit more like we're going to do this big thing to show. I think that was the episode where we were talking about how we're going to show all the Sab fans that we can still do prog. For some reason that mattered in the vinyl headphone world of smoking weed. So everyone's still, can you still do a long complicated song that we did in Sabbath? Yes, we can. We don't just have to do I Don't Know or Crazy Train. I think Jobber brought that up at that time. I think that is a marketing situation that happened because remember, there's no Ozzy before Blizzard of Oz. There's just Sabbath. So when Blizzard of Oz comes out, there's an attempt to both incorporate and distance from the world of Black Sabbath. Good things about Sabbath, I'm going to include. Bad things about Sabbath, I'm going to get rid of.
It's like Randy's agent's on the phone.
Yeah, I'm being told this is hot off the presses. Unmasked sucks.
No, it's not what it says. It says that it's probably the greatest album ever, and I'm getting sued because I said Gene sucks.
Wow. Or
Anyway.
Gene just texted Rock and said, I think I know who's so European.
Okay. Moving on. We have Lonely as the Word, Easy as It Seems, and Steal Away the Night.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. So freaking easy.
I agree, but I don't know if we'll agree. Steal Away the Night.
You're a tool.
Well, there's no tool in this.
Most underrated Ozzy song of all time.
Oh my God. You guys.
Whoa.
Jobber.
I'm actually going to go with Easy on this one.
Thank you. Someone with a brain.
I like the bass guitar, bass and guitar are very gritty on this.
Awesome. Is it not?
I thought we were all friends here.
Wow. Let's not insult each other's brains.
That's right.
Yeah.
JT
Although I have
did
to say
great
the only
sex
downside of this song is the producers had to shoehorn it in some keyboards that I didn't think were necessary, but
We finally, after 2 hours, got Jobber to bash a synth. Thank you.
That's funny.
No, I'm contractually obligated to.
Yeah, I know. There's a
It's
bunch
in the
of bass
contract.
companies going, if we could stop people buying synth, they'll all buy bass again.
He's
Steal Away the
a
Night
huge
is
New
the
Order
most-
fan.
Steal Away the Night is the most underrated song on this album. It is genius. I love every moment of it. It's got kind of this almost what Night Ranger would be in the future with this speed and this fastness, and it's like you don't care how fast you're going. And funny enough, Brad Gillis would eventually play this song.
Mhm.
Night Ranger.
He's fast.
He's a fast, super fast, and
He's a
I love Steal Away the Night. Like there's a part of me that's going there, feel like they're rushing it. They feel like they're rushing it, and then at times I want it to go faster.
Okay, hurry up and pick your stupid Steal Away the Night. And blah,
What?
blah, blah, blah.
Like you think that I'm going there for sure, right?
Probably.
I happen to really love Easy as It Seems. Thank you very much.
I am sorry.
I mean, barely over that Aussie song. That's like
Okay, now you're back to doofism.
like barely.
Is doofism a word?
No,
Oh.
no, don't say that to me. No, I am going with the Kiss Unmasked song. Easy as It Seems is a really cool Paul pop song. Again, I do love that song, but I will go with Paul Stanley.
Nice, good call. Easy as It Seems, second best song in the album, probably could be the most underrated Kiss song of all time.
Second best on the album, I agree with.
It is unreal, not even close.
It's probably in the top 120 of Kiss.
Christ, okay, we're
Probably
done
the
here.
top 100.
Okay, the bottom line is the last pick, Black Sabbath and Ozzy were too lazy to put more songs than 4 on the album, so Kiss automatically wins the next song, and it's probably either Torpedo Girl, You're All That I Want. So we should still discuss what is better, Torpedo Girl or You're All That I Want.
Well,
Even though there should
I got
only be
nothing.
one.
I got nothing on that.
I got
Hops, you lived with a certain member of the gang in Vancouver, Burnaby, in the 90s. And did he have an inclination towards Torpedo Girl or not?
100%. 100%. That's all I ever heard. Maybe that's why I don't like it as much, because that's all I ever heard.
We talking?
Okay, so hold on. We Hops, you were there for it. You were on the ground. What's your analysis on why he loved it? Is it kitsch?
I mean, you got to remember he was listening to a lot of Tango in the Night and Gigi Allen, so it was like worlds were colliding.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, I don't know. It was over my league, but I gotta.
So it's like a comic book song. It's silly, but at the same point, it's this weird Ace. Once again, on the other songs Ace is doing, it's this punky dun 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 dun, and the lyrics.
I forgot to throw in the New York Dolls and Iggy Pop. You got to throw that in there too.
Yeah,
the whole
sure.
mix.
But you see, that's a theme. So most, so I'm not saying most of the people on this channel, I'm saying just Rock and Otto aren't super familiar with New York Dolls or Iggy Pop in that period or that early New York 1980s punk. They weren't into it. When you look at that as a song for a band, it's so out there. It's so strange. It's got like a torpedo sound from the 40s that being
and battle stations, torpedo.
It's so strange. Like, first of all, how many, like, I don't know if you're just trying to write something unusual or you're on tons of drugs, one or the other when you write that song. But so why do you take that song as, let's say, one of the most controversial Kiss songs ever?
Well, like you said, that submarine torpedo horn thing at the beginning is probably the most embarrassing intro I've ever heard to a song.
Wow. So you know it's becoming the beginning of this episode.
Dr. Bon Jovi, Dr. Bon Jovi.
Then the chorus is terrible. I mean, Torpedo Girl, give me a break. And like I said about one of the other earlier Ace songs, it sounds like somebody in grade 6 was writing the lyrics.
Okay.
So it's kind of like Steel Panther.
No, they're
Hold on.
actually talented.
Hold on.
Like a parody.
Hold on. Okay,
It's a parody.
so I did a bit of research on this. I don't want to throw something out at you.
Okay. Something
Ace was a huge fan growing up of surf guitar.
good. Okay.
Surf guitar was all din, 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 and like
Safaris.
picked it, right?
Yeah.
So anything that had to do with surfing, torpedoes, submarines was considered something that he probably would have been really interested in. And Ace is also a big comic book fan. And Aquaman and all the stuff. So Aquaman's girlfriend, when you're Ace in 1980, might have been the Torpedo Girl.
Could be.
Okay.
Could be.
That's cool. That's interesting. But this is completely off topic again. But same album or same year, 1980, Blue Oyster Cult, Marshall Plan, right?
Was
where
that
he says
Saurus Erectus?
Where he says, yeah, he goes, I ain't gonna play no surf music. That part in the song just kind of remind me of that.
Well, but you got to remember this, that even though they're Eric Bloom and Buck Dharma and Ace are all New Yorkers, difference is that Ace is a Queens guy, lived in an
Long Island,
never had a surfboard or a boat. Buck and Eric were Long Island. They had access to boats, so they could be out in the water. They hated fucking surf music. They absolutely hated it. They wanted to be part of this more complex, like Steely Dan-esque world and dark chords and everything. So if you really look at who is evil or who is trying to channel evil,
I've got
Blue
it
Oyster Cult, not Kiss. Even though Kiss
I got it now.
Satan's Army.
Because Ace was pissed at Blue Oyster Cult for that. He was referring to Buck Dharma and Eric Bloom as the Torpedo Girl because he liked his surf music.
Ooh, right. That's a twist.
That's a twist. So off topic.
So all these short New Yorkers.
Okay,
right?
But I mean, Rock's comment on embarrassing intro and the childish lyrics, notwithstanding, because I can't really disagree with that. But is it Ace's best song? No,
hell no.
But I mean, the funky bass and the guitars were that intro is pretty impressive. That initial,
it is
once they get to the music,
it's like bum 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 bum.
Yeah, and
so
I think too, it's the thing I'll say about Ace's songs, especially in the late '70s, that unlike a lot of other Kiss songs like Disco-esque Kiss and Dynasty and whatnot, Ace's songs are not dated.
That's true.
And there's almost a Guns N' Roses instrumentation feel to that song. Like
so,
I can see where they got some of their ideas.
You're right. If anyone listens to I was made for loving you, it's like that is Disco Kiss. Anyone listens to Back in the New York Groove, it still sounds like punk.
But you guys got to admit that Ace's solos were simple but effective. Right?
And very distinctive.
Not Vinnie Vincent.
Hold on, Mark. They are simple in terms of their eighth notes and their sometimes 16th notes. They're not simple. He is using sometimes melodic minor. Actually, I find it way harder to play Ace than almost any other guitar player other than Keith Richards.
Really?
So anything DeMartini does is just, I know how fast he has to play. But there's nothing unpredictable about DeMartini. What there is Ace will choose notes that they're not supposed to be there. He'll be like, I'm going to do Alien, and then I'm going to do Dorian, but I'm in Kiss, and they don't even fucking know, so who cares? So Ace mocks the band at times in his solos. And, okay, so like you were saying, New York Groove still sounds fresh. I saw it in 97 when they did the reunion tour. I was 7 rows away from them, and like everyone was clapping, Back in the New York Groove. Nobody reacted to Firehouse. Firehouse sounds dated. New York Groove didn't. Still,
you know the rest of the band hated playing that song.
Conditions of
you know what?
Conditions of
we never finished Unmasked.
Well, we did
because we're talking about Torpedo Girl.
We don't have
Torpedo Girl won, didn't it?
No, I
Yeah,
would
of course
pick
you
your
did.
limit over
Yeah,
Torpedo
You're
Girl.
All That
Anyways.
I Want. The last song on Unmasked is really, really cool. With a lot of Kiss songs, you hear a lot of Gene Simmons background vocals, but that one has awesome Paul Stanley background.
Take 1, 2, 3. Okay, Black Sabbath ended up with 0. Kiss Unmasked, the greatest album of all time, only got 4. And Ozzy, Blizzard of Oz, 6, moves on to the final 3. Get ready for the next one.